All right, welcome back. Episode 5? Episode 5 of the Chill Country Report.
That's awesome.
We're really doing it.
This is big.
Yeah, we have 18 more to make it a habit or something.
Last episode, we forgot to hit record on the wide camera, and so we had to do a 3-up for the video.
3 split screen.
I think I like the wide better.
Yeah, this last one looks like NFL Red Zone. Just a bunch of fucking different games going.
It's like a little too intimate for what we're doing here. We're also going back to the original lighting.
You guys like that football reference I made?
Dude, you're just all with the sports references, dude.
Yeah. Pretty alpha.
No comment.
Well,
we had a rainy weekend in Austin.
Yep. I don't think we should talk about the weather, though.
No.
It's probably not a good topic of convo for a podcast.
It creates situations.
Speaking
of, in hindsight, after reviewing the first 4 podcasts, they're pretty good. We got some good clips.
We got
some good action. But I think we would benefit from a little more structure. So going forward, not this episode because we're not prepared. We'll be more prepared and maybe put some thought into what exactly we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So this is, for all 7 of you, this is the last time we're freeballing this shit.
But it'll still be a free ball. It'll just be with maybe some bullet points of topics that we should maybe talk about. So what are some topics we should talk about? I mean, what do we have going on here? We've got a trade show type pop-up thing today at one of our distros. You were up there earlier.
Yep, I was up there and I got to experience being right next to a bunch of other brands. That's always fun for me. I just really do not like competition, and it just triggers a lot of thoughts about just feeling like I'm part of not as unique as I think I am.
You just want to be special and unique.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Like going to Costco yesterday, I had a good time, but it's still tough for me because I just see all these other humans buying the same shit I'm buying. Like, 15,000 other people bought the same avocados today.
Sometimes they're in one family. Especially Costco on a Sunday.
But I think that's a good ceremony. It's an ego death of sorts because the problem with thinking you are special and unique, it's a lot of responsibility.
And it always comes back and fucks you.
You got a lot to live up to. But if you're just like every other fucking sloth slithering around, then fuck, what a relief.
What a relief. So yeah, we're just one of several brands up at this event today, and it's great.
Yeah, and fast forward 6 months, and there's going to be about 10 times more. But it's like this is the most insane industry ever. There is going to be 7 billion brands. There's going to be a brand for every human on the planet.
Yeah.
Which that makes me I like a crowded space. I mean, even when we launched gummies, we were late to the game. There are so many brands already, and now there's so many more. But the only point of differentiation in a crowded space is brand. Mm-hmm. And I think we are uniquely qualified to build a brand that will resonate with enough people. And that's all we have to do. We just have to find enough people that align with the same point of view that we have. Mm-hmm. And we've done that so far, and we have a lot of people who choose us as their go-to, and there's a lot more people out there that when they're introduced to it, they're going to do the same.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, we definitely stand out across the brands that I saw this morning, like from all the way from like the product ingredients to the packaging to our position on dosing to like all that stuff. It's like very different compared to
it's this culmination of strategies that are all uniquely inspired by us, right? It's like we're not looking at anyone else trying to be like, oh, let's do what they're doing. Like we have a real purpose for creating Chill Country and creating the products the way that we do and explaining them the way that we do and trying to educate people the way that we do, to where it's like somebody could look at what we're doing and copy us, but it's going to be a copy of what we're doing. And by the time they get their copy of our stuff to market, we're going to have evolved and morphed. And we've seen that already. So it's just, you just keep evolving until the end of time and keep steering it in a direction that only you could steer it with your own tastes and intuitions. And I think that excites me, because I know that most people in any space, most of the brands in any space, are just looking at other brands and everything looks like a copy of a copy of a copy. So the only way to avoid that is by really trying to like make sure that everything you're doing is inspired by your own unique point of view.
Yeah.
Which I think we're doing a good job of.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. And you can see it. Like, you can see it in our display. Like, most people are just using the tables that were given to them, and it has like this black kind of spandex wrapper around it. And we have like all the way down to that, like where we have our own custom like wooden table. It's like everything about it is still very different. And that's cool. That'll just keep happening, assuming we stay true to our.
Yep. Next time we're at one of these, there's going to be more
wooden tables,
custom wooden tables.
Yeah, everyone's going to be like, that's tight.
A car.
And there'll be a wrapped car.
Yeah, a wrapped car with a campsite behind it.
And a fire pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's going on right now.
So we got that. We've been noodling more on beverages, and particularly doing some sort of 750 liquor style alternative.
Yeah, and like the most interesting thing about that is we have some pretty specific use cases for the gummies around pain and sleep. That's like half of our reviews, reference those things.
Not that we're saying our gummies cure any disease or illness.
But the reviews say that people are using them for that reason.
But we did upload all of our reviews into Claude, and Claude told us that the vast majority of our customers reference using our gummies for sleep and for pain.
Yep.
And generally for therapeutic purposes. And then the other use case is alcohol alternative, which to us, that kind of sums up the whole, like the three buckets or reasons as to why somebody would want to use one of our cannabis products. And it's really two. It's therapeutic or it's alcohol alternative. And so that's really kind of resurfaced the idea of getting into the beverage space.
Yeah, and with the tie into music, like we are, I think we're uniquely qualified to enter into these venues. And for these venues, like I think a 750 is a better fit.
Yeah, better. Well, for sure than gummies, but I think even like compared to seltzers, one of the things, because we've been noodling on it for a long time, and we actually made some progress with the R&D a bit ago. And one of the things that we kept talking about is particularly in a bar setting, the bartender likes to make drinks. Like, that's their skill. They make delicious cocktails, right? So the bartender just being a can opener, vending machine, like that kind of defeats the whole purpose of a bartender. So that we've since for a while now, since we've been entertaining the idea of doing a beverage, we've thought a liquor style alternative was the best form of cannabis beverage for that reason. It would also be sick to make a really nice custom Chill Country bottle that would look good on a bar shelf.
Yep. And there's all these like questions about like, do you use a distributor? How do you sell to liquor stores? How do you sell to venues? And it's like, it's a different sales motion. There's a lot of different things about it that we would get to learn.
Yep.
But I do think, we figured it out pretty quick.
Yeah, now that the gummies are kind of established, the foundation is there. We understand distro, we understand our marketing and kind of education strategy and manufacturing, and all of that stuff is figured out. It's like, all right, well, now we kind of have bandwidth to look at like, well, what is another product that would fit into the lineup and help us accomplish what it is we're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
That's another. I mean, from the very beginning, we've talked about cannabis as an alcohol alternative being one of our motivating factors. With your history with alcohol, it's particularly interesting. So yeah, that'll be, and we already have actually like a flavor profile developed. Yep. So we're really not that far away.
We're really not. And then we're going to be at the Texas Package Convention in July, which is a little tight. I don't know if we'd be able to roll something out the way we'd want to by then, but it'd be cool if it was in process to be able to tell them about it.
Yeah,
and be able to follow up.
If we had a coming soon with samples, whatever,
that could be really
cool. But we will see. We'll see how it unfolds. We're gonna tap that Jenga block. If it pops out the other side, then we'll have a beverage. If it gets stuck halfway through, then we'll tap it back in and try something else.
This is definitely my favorite analogy that you've come up with in the last year or so, is the Jenga block analogy.
Can you explain the Jenga block analogy?
So life is like a game of Jenga. And what I mean by that is we are constantly trying to figure out, well, what's the next move here? What's the next move that I take? And in my younger years, I was a lot more determined to come up with a plan and say, this is my next move, and just bulldoze forward despite any resistance or blockage that I run into. And it was just like, I'm going to execute my vision. And what I have discovered, what I feel like we've discovered in kind of coming together to create the joint philosophy that we use to run this company, is life and like accomplishing things that we want to accomplish is a lot less like chess and a lot more like Jenga. And when you're playing Jenga, you're not thinking about what block you're going to pull out 3 turns from the current turn. You're thinking, which block is loose right now? You tap around, oh, nope, that block's stuck. This one looks good, tap it up. Oh, that one's coming out. Oh, wait, it's like getting stuck halfway through. Tap that back. Oh, here's a loose one. Tap it out. So it's not, you don't necessarily always go with the first block, with the first idea. And we've applied that to steering this company, and it's working exceptionally well, where we have all sorts of ideas and we're like, oh, we want to go do this. And we start, beverages a couple years ago, right? We tapped the block and it just kept getting jammed up. And it's like, all right, I guess now is not the time. So we back off, keep focusing on the gummies. Now we're here again. We're like, oh, I think that block's loose now. And so we're going to tap it, but we're not declaring like, we're going to go make beverages. It's like, maybe.
Yeah, I think like the old strategy, like, what's your 5-year plan?
Yeah. And we're in a fortunate situation where we did raise a little bit of money to start this company. So we have shareholders that we are responsible to, have a fiduciary duty to navigate this thing in a financially fruitful way. But they're super patient. Bunch of friends and family, angel investors. So, and now that we're profitable, it's just kind of, we have the luxury of, we don't really have to come up with any kind of long-term plan. We can just continue to navigate based on what makes the most sense in real time. And the thing about that is it allows us to make decisions with the most information. Because if we're trying to make a plan for something we're going to do in 6 months from now, in 5 months, we're going to have so much more information that original plan is probably worthless.
Yeah, my buddy's stepdad has several very successful restaurants up in Maine, and he is notoriously difficult to pin down for any sort of like planning. And everyone in the family's like finally figured out the genius of his strategy, which is that he waits until the very last possible moment to commit to something because it gives him the most possible amount of information about whether he should be there or not.
Dude, yeah, that's exactly it. That's
Brilliant.
exactly it. And the only challenge with that strategy is it's not how almost anybody else operates. So everybody else is like looking at their watch, looking at their calendar, and they're like, we're going to be late.
And he's just Braveheart. Hold.
So it's like you have to, I mean, it's taken a while to get ourselves situated in a place where we can operate like that most of the time, right? But it's like, we've got a weekly call with our ad agency. It's like that's like the only thing on my calendar every week. And now this, right? Which this we can move or whatever. We had to move it this morning, an hour. So it's like, yeah, dude.
So the point, like planning something a month in advance is like unattractive.
Yeah, dude. It's like that's a decision for future Homer. Right?
Yeah. I mean, at my meeting last night, the speaker said that his sponsor told him sometimes God doesn't want you to try harder. He wants you to rest or to wait or to observe or to be grateful or whatever. And my whole life has just been like, oh, if things aren't going well, you should try fucking harder because obviously you messed something up, right? And so to do the opposite is so hard.
That reminds me of a Joel Osteen podcast that Ryan Young sent me. Not a podcast that I
God
frequent.
wants you to be rich.
But he was like, if it ain't happened for you right now, that just means God has you in the weight room. And you just got to wait it out.
I mean, if I look back on my life, I spent the majority of it like coming up with strategies to try to get my way. Like that's been pretty much everything I've done. You could sum up most of everything I've learned and tried is like trying to get my way. My will. And it's like, I've tried to be nicer. I've tried to be meaner. I've tried to be more frugal. I've tried to spend more money on people to get them to like me. I've tried to like amass resources. I've tried to be funnier. Like almost everything to try to, because I was like, well, clearly things aren't how I want them. I'm not happy. So let me fucking.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're not supposed to try harder. That was awesome. I heard that last night. I was like, that's
really
sick.
cool. Yeah. I've been obsessed with just trying to figure out what my motivations are for anything I think I want to do. It's like, well, what is really the thing that is making me want to do X, Y, and Z? And by really trying to be honest with yourself, do I really, is there some sort of like greater goal here than something that's like completely self-serving to me? And typically I'm convinced that any actions that I take that are motivated by something that's self-serving or some sort of goal that's self-serving is the wrong action to take. Which is tricky because you can do all sorts of mental gymnastics to be like, well, yeah, no, this is going to be good for.
It's for my family.
Yeah, no, I gotta do it for the family. Yeah,
I did it for my family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, the easiest person to fool is yourself. Yeah. I know. So it kind of makes it hard to be like, well, we should have a plan for the podcast. I don't know what we should talk
Here
about.
are our bullet points.
But I do think you have to have a general idea because it's more like, what are we trying to accomplish with this, right? And so there's always like some things going on that would be good to talk about. And if we could preemptively kind of think through like, all right, well, these topics are good topics to talk about. And like, kind of what do I want to say? What would be meaningful or helpful to say about this thing? That I think is the right way to think about planning for something like this.
And, to borrow from the stepdad's idea, like we could do that right before. We don't have to do that like a month in advance. Like on this podcast in 1 month, we're going to talk about
Yeah,
this.
it's like maybe, yeah. Like in the morning before we record, we sit down and talk about what we want to talk about. We have a pre-meeting for our meeting.
Yeah.
Night at the Roxbury. They open their agendas to check their calendars. Like take the plastic
That is
wrap
a
off.
deep reference. Jesus.
That was just one that I watched 1,000 times for
Justin,
whatever
you know
reason.
this part at least.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you know that part of the movie. Dun, 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 dun,
Show me
dun,
after this.
dun.
After this episode.
You've seen Night at the Roxbury. I think you have.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Not that great of a movie.
Really not that great of a
But
movie.
you've seen it a lot.
Dude, it was like peak Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan.
Yeah, it was poor Chris Kattan. It was just a spin-off of Saturday Night Live. So when they were like just tossing movies out left and right.
Okay.
It was a sketch from Saturday Night Live that they turned into a movie with Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan.
I don't know who Chris Kattan is.
You will.
But is it they're like best friends?
Justin, don't try to.
I honestly don't even remember like the core premise.
Who are they to each other?
I don't remember.
I don't even remember that either.
I think friends.
They seem like
They go
friends.
clubbing.
They go clubbing together.
Yeah, okay.
They're
But
trying
they're
to
like
get
a
into
little
the
Like
rock
the
older.
80s
Yeah.
type.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen
Yeah.
it. I knew you'd seen it. I fucking knew it.
Vintage Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm. So
What else? We got so
you know,
man,
dude. You know what? Actually, here's what else. You have, I would say, gone pretty far down the rabbit hole with Claude Code.
I was actually just about to bring that up because it's becoming more and more fun to use, and I'm a little late to the party because I've been using ChatGPT for a while, for a long time, and I've been using ChatGPT as a coding assistant when doing any kind of web development stuff. Which, for the record, my original background is in web development. I've been fucking with computers since I was a child. When I first got out of school, I got a job as a web developer, front-end web developer. So that's kind of like one of my core skill sets. Never like deep into engineering where I was always on the front end, like designing and doing like the front end code. And then when it got into the back end, I could like fuck around with it, but if it got too complicated, it was above my area of expertise. So that's been kind of my relationship to web development forever. And as things have progressed technologically, Shopify came along. Shopify has its own coding language, Liquid, which is easier than, it's similar to like PHP, but a lot easier to deal with. And so that kind of like expanded some capabilities. And then being able to use ChatGPT is just like, hey, I'm trying to build this, write me some code, copy, paste, put it in. Hey, it doesn't work. Copy, paste, put it in. I could do even more than I could do previously. But then I most recently was having a conversation with Mike Spadier, and he is deep down the rabbit hole of like setting up agents.
No, he's not a developer.
He's not a developer, but he is a high level strategy guy, marketing strategy. He's technical enough. Him and I have the same journey with computers where we were talking about this, where like there was a point in our adolescence where we were introduced to a computer, and it was like this crazy obsession of like, oh my God, this thing, I can sit here by myself and I can, sorry, my phone's ringing. I can sit here at a desk with this computer and have an idea for something, and then I can make it exist in a form that I can look at and show other people. And so our journey initially was digital video editing. So we both like got sucked into computers through editing video, where it's like you shoot it, get it on the computer, chop it up, export it, and then you can show people, and they're like, oh, that's cool. And it's like this very gratifying feeling to like take an idea from your head and like make it something that somebody else can see. And back then computers were super fucking clunky. So like, so he has the same kind of journey with me of like using complicated applications and fucking with computers like back when they were like really difficult to navigate. So he has enough technical knowledge where he's not a web developer, but he is a little bit engineering minded, just in general, the way he thinks about things and like systems and processes and all of that. So he's deep down the rabbit hole. We were having a conversation. I was highly skeptical, and I was actually kind of being a little pompous about it. And I was just like basically like dismissing his excitement for where the technology is. And then he was like, look, just use Claude and then let's talk. And I was like, all right. So I got Claude, and then I figured out how to install Claude code into a code editor on my computer. And that was just like, oh shit. Like, because ChatGPT is awesome because it has access to the internet. It's amazing, like what information it can compile instantly for you. It can write code for you. But there's a lot of limitations because it's trapped in this like chat box. With Claude Code installed directly into a code editor, what you can do is give it complete access to all of the code files associated with a website. So I can pull down every code file associated with one of our Shopify stores, and it now has the ability to read every single piece of code that makes up the whole website. It also intimately understands the coding frameworks. It's read the white papers. It knows like exactly how code works in all the languages. So with that, I can just chat with it and I can explain what it is I want it to do. And it's not just giving me code to copy and paste. It's actually writing the code directly in the code files and then pushing them up to like a development site on Shopify where I can open it up on an internet browser. I could share a link with you, and you can see
how many
what it
things
just
have you
wrote.
built in the last couple weeks in Claude Code?
It's like 1 week.
Well, just over the weekend, I completely rebuilt the wholesale portal.
And how much code did you write?
I mean, how much code did it write?
No, did you write versus it?
Like 5% of the code, maybe. But so what's interesting, it's like, it's not doing the work for me. It's allowing me to do exponentially more than I would be able to do otherwise because it's doing all of the black and white. It's like I'm doing the what and the why, and it's doing the how of the implementation. So it knows exactly how to implement it, but I have to give it very precise. I have to know exactly what I want it to do, and I have to understand the confines of like what's possible with, like, I have to understand kind of like the architecture of a website, and I have to understand like user experience and user interfaces and best practices and like all of that stuff. And I have to know exactly what I want and like see it in my head and then explain it in a way that it's going to be able to build it. And oftentimes it'll like try to do it in the wrong way. And it's like, no, you're making it too complicated. Do it like this. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I know enough. Anybody that does like front end development but doesn't understand like the back end will know what I'm talking about, where it's like you're driving, it's like you're still driving. It's still like, it's not doing any of the creative strategy for you. It's all strategy and like figuring out exactly what you want.
I went down the rabbit hole a little bit this weekend and was like, okay, well, I am not technical, and I was reading a bunch of papers from Anthropic about different plugins and different ways that things talk to each other. It was like, there's a section called Claude for Finance. And it was like, well, it has a plugin into Excel and you can have it live natively in Excel the same way you have it live in your code editor, and you can just talk to it, and it will adjust things, it will format things, it can read the stuff, it can figure out all the fucking connections.
That's a perfect use case for you because you understand Excel intimately enough to know exactly what you want. It's like it's no different than you building a complex financial model where that is a website of sorts.
Yeah.
It's just it's so in that environment you could do things in Excel that you would not be able to figure out on your own.
And I already do using chat. I'll be like, I need a formula that does this.
Dude,
it'll be
okay. So that we just figured it out because we've been talking about this. Like, how do you use it? Like, now we just need to figure out like the basic implementation. But what's crazy is you can be like, Claude, I don't know shit about
how do I
shit.
implement this shit?
What do I do? What's step one? Like, how do I get this into Google Sheets?
Yeah.
And then it'll tell you exactly what to do.
Yeah. I think where I lost my steam was I started looking up like the Google Sheets implementation, and like there's a community for comments and people talking about it. And apparently the Google Sheets interaction is kind of shitty because Google Sheets is apparently like a very, very big code base, and it's really clunky for it to try to. So I was like, well, I don't even use Excel anymore. And then I was like, man, fuck this.
The Jenga block was stuck.
The Jenga block got
That's
stuck.
fine.
Google Sheets, they'd be more reliant on Gemini.
I would imagine that they probably have a Gemini integration that does everything you could ever need it to use.
Great.
Just
So now I gotta
another
use Gemini.
fucking
You already have it.
$200
like
here,
how-
$200 there.
Oh, it's Netflix. Oh, it's going to be.
Right.
Oh, now I have 18 fucking
Yeah.
streamings. Oh, it's
Yeah.
cable again.
But
That's life.
But that's great. Now you have access to everything that's ever been created instantly at your fingertips.
Yay. Exactly what I need when I'm trying to be less distracted. I get it, though. I think I get it.
Just get a Gemini subscription.
Yeah, let's get Gemini.
Another $20.
And another $20 a month.
But yeah, I my eyes have been opened. I already apologized to Mike for being pompous.
You apologize to Norman?
Norman is Mike's one of Mike's many agents that he has running his e-commerce site.
He's the head agent, though, right? He's
But
the
Mike
agent of
Mike
agents?
was totally right. I told him he was right, and because he was like because here's
You told him he was right?
yeah
You told Mike he was right.
yeah dude, I'll fucking admit
Dangerous.
it. I will argue my point of view relentlessly until I realize I'm wrong, and then I will apologize and admit that I was wrong.
You are good at that. For how strongly you hold on to opinions that are not right, you are as good at apologizing and correcting it.
Thank
So credit where credit's due.
Thank you.
I just don't have opinions. Oh yeah, you think that's good? I'll do whatever you want. You like that? Will that make you like me?
You gotta like really stand your ground and fight back to get to the point of okay, yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, it's because I'm dying to hear opinions that contradict my own. Yeah. But if somebody doesn't have a lot of confidence in their opinion, even if they're right, it's like it's hard to,
Yeah. So on that topic, my buddy Luke sent me an article about the latest Anthropic model called Mythos. I don't know how you pronounce it, but basically they didn't release it because it's so good at coding that it found exploits in just about every critical infrastructure on the internet today. So one of the exploits that it found was for Linux, which apparently is what like 80% of all the servers in the world are on. So it found an exploit that allows it to become the admin almost immediately. And so instead of just releasing this to everyone in the world, which most people are fine, but there's some bad actors, they decided to call every single big company in the world that runs anything from healthcare to finance to fucking your whatever. And they said, hey, our shit found holes in your system, man. What do you want to do about it? And so now they have this project called whatever, Gullwing or some shit. They have such crazy fucking name. Whoever gets to do the naming there is having a very good time. But they're basically saying like, we're going to give 120 days for everybody to use this for free to find their exploits before we
That is so
releases.
crazy.
How is this just like postponing the inevitable though? Like this is one model that they're releasing that, you know, another model is going to come out in 3 to 6 months.
Dude, I know it's all over the internet. People are talking about this, and I've kind of like written it off, but we have no idea where this shit's going. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like after using it, I mean, I was using it all weekend, and I built some shit that I never could have built on my own.
Yeah.
And would have been a pain in the ass to build even with a developer to get it exact. Like I can sit there and get it exactly the way that I want it.
Yeah.
Because this thing just does anything you ask it instantly.
That's one niche use case.
I'm using it for some bullshit.
So
right?
let's talk about like intentions, right? So right now, one of my old programming intentions brings, like when you're saying all this stuff, one of the things that's coming up is if I don't get on board with this shit soon, I'm going to get left behind, which I can't believe other people are not also feeling that.
Yeah. But
that's the wrong intention to start picking it up. And so I also know that. And so then the question is, how do I shift to the correct intention, which is it interesting to me? If it's not, does that mean I'm just fucked?
you're not going to get left behind because there's nowhere to go. We're not going anywhere. It's just this always. And then things change. There's no race. We're not going anywhere.
What about
Also,
someone that's
dude,
like, what about someone that's like 2 years in as a software developer that has no idea that they're fucked?
Well, but that's their own I don't know what their
I think
shit
everyone's
is.
fucked, dude. To like put this in a box and think like,
Nah.
Okay. I think it doesn't matter if you pick up AI or not in the grand scheme of things because
You're going to die?
sure, but I mean like in 10 years it's going to be so advanced.
You mean 6 months?
Yeah, 6 it's going to be so advanced.
3
that
weeks
It doesn't
ago.
matter, dude. It's not like I have an advantage over you because I figured out how to build a promo widget on our wholesale site. Like
Right.
that doesn't it's just but like I think it's going to ultimately be good for everybody because there's going to be so much abundance. I'm on the side of this is going to create so much abundance that every human on the planet is going to be living more comfortably. And that it's going to be a scenario where I've been seeing this since starting this company. One of the primary thing that was top of mind whenever I was working on this company is like, I don't give a fuck about the finances beyond having enough to continue to like make this thing and evolve it. What I actually care about is making sure that I'm prioritizing the creative work and that I'm doing the creative work hands-on. And that has been the North Star since 2020.
Yeah, now you get to do that without having to interface with a developer that may not believe that.
But the thing is like this is just the latest leap in technology. Technology, even back when I was a kid, was enabling me to do creative work that I otherwise couldn't have done. I couldn't have shot video on film reels and clipped them in a dark room together to edit video, right? But with a pirated version of Adobe Premiere on my eMachines PC, I could cut together awesome little videos and show people and impress my fucking parents or whatever, you know? And so like that was idea existing in a form that I could look at and see and be like, yes, that's what I saw in my head. Hey, look. And then somebody else sees it and they're like, oh, cool. I see the same thing you saw in your head. And that's all that it's doing. And now it's just shortening the time and increasing the capabilities to take the idea from the head to it's a thing that exists. And it's eliminating this technical component, this technical barrier that has existed. It's like it's been lowering the bar of and it's this continuation. This is just like like a hockey stick forward. But what it's getting to is this world where it's just going to be a battle of ideas. Who has the best ideas? And ideas are also strategy, which even though you don't think you're technical, like you have a really fucking amazing mind for strategy. And like, that's going to like, these barriers are going to be gone. And it's just going to be like, who has the best ideas and who has the best strategies. And you're just going to be able to, when everybody can create whatever they want instantly, it's just going to be a war of, not even a war, that's the wrong word or analogy. It's just going to be like, who's got the best ideas? And that's what, I mean, and even like, I apply that to raising my kids. Like I've, from the time they were very little, pushed them to do creative stuff and not been like, you need to think about something practical to learn. It's just like lean into the creative stuff that gets you going, because it's going to be increasingly easy to get those creative ideas out of your head into reality. But then also behind that is, why do anything? What the fuck is the reason to do anything at all? And so that's what really matters. So if you have like a real foundational reason for doing anything at all, something worth more than money or status or whatever the fuck used to motivate me when I was younger, it's like that was like the real thing. But I think it's going to be, I just think that it's going to be so easy to create stuff that we're going to have more stuff. We're going to have more stuff than anybody could ever want. Like everyone's going to be satiated with material things, which is going to then, I think, cause people to turn inward. And it's going to be like, how do you achieve peace? Not how do you get more stuff? That's what I think.
Anyway, I don't know. It's gonna, yeah.
I the doomsday stuff, dude. It just like this has been. It's like the oldest fucking. Everybody always thinks it's doomsday.
I'm not
I
trying
think
to say it's doomsday. I'm just like.
Well, you said everybody's fucked.
I don't think.
Is that not doomsday?
What I was trying to say is like trying to predict if you are or are not fucked with this AI stuff is like trying to fathom God. It's like you can't. Our human brains cannot fathom what God is, and we try, and it's just like, so with AI, I'm just saying like 6 months or 10 years, like it's going to be completely different than what we could even like.
It's impossible to see where it's going, and the more I fuck with it, the more I'm just like, literally no. I mean, no one would have seen cell phones. No one would have seen fucking what we're doing in here.
I think net worth is inner peace, friends, family, network. That's like going to be the thing.
Yes.
Not I can fucking 3D print a tricycle that looks cool.
If your motivations are I need to get more stuff, I need more material things, that is going to be a dead end pursuit, because like you're going to get it all. I think everybody's going to get everything they ever wanted material wise. And so if your entire life is like, I need more things, you're going to get those things and you're going to be like, oh, fuck.
It's not working.
What now? Like, you hear, it's the tale as old as time. Super successful people are like, I spent my entire life trying to achieve this goal and I got it. And then I fucking fell into a deep depression. I think the entire world is going to get to experience
fall into a deep depression.
Well, no, the ones that are waking up every day and being like, I need more things.
Yeah.
I need to get more stuff. I need more money.
Yeah.
I need people to think I'm
something.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be just
It's gonna be fishing, dude. You can't 3D print catching a fish.
Man.
Yep. It's gonna be nature.
I can 3D print a fish with a motor.
It's gonna be going to Costco with your family.
Getting the hot dog.
It's not going to be the buying of the stuff at Costco. It's going to be the act of going to Costco. It's going to be enjoying the act of going to Costco.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that
I was able to get to, but yeah, it's interesting.
Which sounds like it reverts back to just the simple human pleasures.
Yeah, dude.
It's before technologies. Technology is going to be there and all around, but like the pleasures are going to be like the journey, the trip to the store.
It's going to be a fucking acoustic guitar and a good voice.
So the last interesting thing that happened over the weekend for me was, so I'm going to the Virgin Islands. I'm going back as part of dealing with some old childhood trauma stuff. I haven't been in 10 years. My wife doesn't love the fact that I don't like going there. She would like to go more frequently, as would apparently a lot of people. It's a big tourist destination. So me and my best friend from high school, his name's Walker, we always referred to the Virgin Islands as hell with palm trees, because him and I had very similar experiences where, like, when we were just so excited to get the fuck out of there. And he has also not been back in a long time. And I told him I was going to go to St. John, and he texted me like a few hours later. He's like, when are you going? Tickets are booked. And he like booked tickets for the exact same time. So he's going to be there too. And so him and I spoke yesterday. It was so fun to talk to him about this, because we were like, all right, so what's the itinerary? And we basically are going to go to all these places that we have all this old fucking history with, but we're going to like co-regulate each other and like help each other. And it's like, you okay? Yeah. Okay. Are you okay?
That is amazing.
It's going to be so fucking awesome.
Is he,
he's in therapy. He's like, he's healed and grown a lot. So
dude, that is so awesome. I didn't know. I mean, I knew about the trip. I didn't know that you had a companion like that.
So he's coming down, and then it's just going to be fucking, it's going to be awesome. So we're just planning
when is it?
I leave the 22nd. So next Thursday. Yeah. Or Wednesday. Yeah.
That is exciting.
What's an example? Is there something that you can talk about where it's
yeah, so
some stories from the island.
Some stories from the island.
Hell with palm trees.
So,
I guess maybe frame it up, because it is this like glamorous tourist destination, but it's a very different experience when you go up there.
Okay, so St. John is about 8 miles long. It has 2 roads, and what makes it unique of all the Virgin Islands is it was bought almost entirely by John Rockefeller a long time ago, and then he bequeathed 3/4 of the island to the national park system. So St. John is mostly national park, which means it cannot be developed, and so it's the most pristine place down there. And it's also right next to the British Virgin Islands. Like, it's a 5-minute boat ride to Tortola and to Jost Van Dyke, and like it's insane. Like I can go into like non-trauma Chris and be like, acknowledge that this place is ridiculous. It's like a couple hours from the Puerto Rican Trench, which is the second deepest trench in the world after the Marianas Trench. So the deep sea fishing is insane. The scuba diving's crazy. I could literally go to spots right now, catch a couple lobsters, bring them back and cook them tonight. Like, it's crazy. And so it's like most places down in the Caribbean, it's tourist driven. And so you have, nowadays you have billionaires going down there, and then you've got a couple locals. And so people that live on St. John right now, when I was there, it was probably like 1,500 people total. And now it's down to probably like 750 to 1,000, because there are a lot of hurricanes have come and like just kind of crushed a lot of stuff. But anyways, when you grow up there, my parents were basically in the service industry. And so you just grow up kind of like being the help to other people. And then, it just creates like this weird situation. On top of that, there was like, my medical history and then alcoholism. And for me, it was like, obviously there was a lot of magical stuff that happened there. I'm not going to write that off. But for me, it was easier mentally and emotionally to just wholesale write the thing off and act like it didn't exist. And it's time to like change that.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine a lot of people who grow up with a healthy level of trauma
Mm-hmm.
and leave the town or wherever they grew up,
Yeah.
that town has a certain energy about it.
There's an energy, right?
And yours just happens to be this like island, this magical island.
Yeah,
right?
that people love to go to.
Yeah, which is just makes it even more bizarre than like going back to Ohio or whatever the fuck.
Right, just makes it more interesting as like a story. But you know, like a lot of people growing up, like my parents obviously did the best they could, and there was a lot of support. So when I was born, I had a bunch of birth defects. My parents didn't have health insurance, all that. So like there were almost a dozen like full island-wide fundraisers to pay for medical bills, and like there's just like this crazy story of people that have like swooped in to help, and there's basically like aunts and uncles essentially that are, you know. And so I'm like coordinating with all them to go see them, and for them to meet Birdie, and for Birdie to see St. John for the first time and go to the beach. And it's like, it's going to be pretty fucking charged.
Dude.
So
You need to bring the DJI,
oh my God,
the vlog
I need to
camera.
talk to Claude about how to fucking use it.
You just turn it on. Hit the
It's
red
like me.
button.
So yeah, like what would be an example? So like my dad's restaurant, you know, he drank himself to death, and then the business got sold. And I spent a lot of my childhood around that place. So we will go there for lunch, but it is owned by somebody else, and it's a totally different place than it was. And that's going to be fucking heavy for me. So it'll be nice to have Jess there and Birdie and, you know, Walker and his husband. It's going to be a good time. So
It's so cool that you are at a point where you can even consider doing that.
damn. And then it's all in preparation for the ayahuasca ceremony where we're going to go deep on the inner child stuff. So it's going to be good.
Man. Well, the ceremony's already begun.
It's already begun.
According to Jessica.
Yep. So
Damn, dude.
that was cool. I got to talk to him about like, here's what we're going to do. Here's where we're going to go the first day. Here's what we're going to. There's this one thing down there. There's this place called Hercules, and they make these things called beef patés, which I refer to them as a meat donut. But it's basically like fucking kind of sweet dough, and then they stick like a savory version of sloppy joes in it and deep fry the fucking thing, and then you eat it with a Coca-Cola. And I am going to get that the very first day. I'm so excited about that.
Fuck.
Yep. Yeah, so it'll be cool.
That is so tight. I'm very, very excited to hear about the
Yes, sir.
experience.
I can report back on episode 7.
Nice math.
Yeah, thanks. A little bit of a Goodwill Hunting vibe.
Well, fucking A.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, did a demo at Wheatsville this weekend. Shout out to them.
Nice. Yeah.
That
you
was
said
cool.
That went well.
That was really cool. I gave out, I think, 33 samples. And it's like, speaking of like forcing and like trying to make things happen, it's like, obviously, I want the company to grow. I'm not going to deny that. To spend, 3 hours at a place that, while my family's at home, to like hand out samples to 33 people, it's like hard for me to not like want to go to, well, what's the math on that? Like, was that worth my time? And then I remember that like every person we talked to, we had a really good conversation with, a good experience with. Sure, some of them will buy and will continue to buy our product for a long time, so the lifetime value's there. Like, it's all justified, but what's more important is having to weed whack through the thoughts of like, is this the best use of my time? Is this the most productive thing I could be doing? It was cool. It was like a weird mental experiment.
How many times did you think, let's throw some more fucking money on it on AGS?
I didn't actually have that thought. The thought I had was like, should I be here or should I be with my family? That was the biggest one. And I still don't know what the answer is there because I was there. So I was supposed to be there, I guess. But yeah, it's just what were the intentions? And so I was just trying to like be in a place of, okay, this is an experience to practice just being where I'm at and making the most of it and doing the best I can while I'm here. I'm still like trying to understand what I was supposed to get from that, but
Still integrating the experience.
indeed. I did buy a pickleball racket afterwards. I bought 2 actually, so that Jess could play with me at some point. I don't know when we'll ever.
Maybe that was the entire point.
Maybe that was the whole fucking point. So then I called my buddy Dave and we played a couple games of pickleball.
Sick.
So it was fun.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
What is Burger Monday?
Yeah, it's Burger Monday. Speaking of Jenga blocks, Rickshaw, where you at?
I think it'll happen.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I would have appreciated a more enthusiastic reply. Not gonna lie.
Me too.
No, I thought it was pretty just fine.
That's like how you correspond on.
Yeah, because you got swag, so
Text
you
and
like lay
DMs.
back.
I use exclamation points.
Yeah, no. I think it was just like, hey, we're gonna go on tour and we're gonna come back and record an album.
It's like, but when you're recording an album, like you got 5, you got 2 hours.
Just put an exclamation point after hey.
Yeah. There was some responses. There's 3 responses. They were all periods.
Yeah.
It was a little flat, but we'll hit them back at the end of the year.
That's just how some people communicate.
And that's how some
written.
Jenga blocks be.
Yep.
Sometimes they stuck.
It's halfway out.
It's halfway out. We'll let somebody else pull on it for a little bit and see if the tower falls. God, that analogy just keeps giving.
You want to eat burgers before going back to AWS?
Yeah, I've got more work to do there.
And that's been episode 5
of the Chill Country Report. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
We will see you next Monday.
Perfect.
Have a chill week.
Have a chill week.